sure you feel the vibes.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Coach Plays. It's your boy with Coach Flat here, and it's week 6. But before we get into the power rankings, let's just have a quick review on last week's game of the week between the New England Patriots and the Washington Redskins. I believe that game finished 38-16. What's your reaction?
I thought the Patriots did a lot of good things in the game. Redskins are tough to beat. They create a lot of turnovers. I think the two keys for them, they couldn't finish the drives, settled for field goals 3 times, ended up trailing 14-9 in the first half. Had a drive in the third quarter. We're going in to score a touchdown, make it a one-possession game. Redskins user
I know where you're going.
Came across field and forced a
stretch
fumble.
play.
Stretch right, came from the left side, free safety position, forced a fumble. Redskins pick it up inside the probably 15-yard line, going in to score. Changed the entire complexity of the game. And from there, the Redskins kind of controlled the game, I thought.
Yeah, I believe the Redskins had 4 trips inside the 15-yard line and came away with a total of 9 points. So that's definitely not going to bode well for the not the Redskins, for the Patriots.
Yeah, it wasn't good red zone day for the Patriots. Redskins are one of those people that you almost have to play a perfect game or close to it to hang in there and win that game.
Yep. And let's go ahead and slide into the Week 6 power rankings now. And I believe that game of the week had some pretty big changes to our power rankings, because we see the Redskins at number 1. We'll go ahead and say that at 5-0. But one team that's left off of this power rankings, which surprised me, is the New England Patriots. What do you think about that?
Patriots went from 5 to out of the top 10.
I'm going to say I disagree with that.
Pretty harsh to play the number 1 person in the power rankings and lose and fall out. As somebody that has a vote or a say in the power rankings, I'll just say kind of behind the scenes thinking that you had 9 teams with 1 loss. So we went ahead and gave the 9 teams with 1 loss the top 9 spots. The Patriots were considered for one of those spots, I think 9 or 10, even with the 2 losses. Didn't get it. The Patriots would have been 11 if there were 11 spots. The Colts we gave at 3-2 the number 10 spot over the Patriots, simply because they were 3-0 when they've actually been able to play the game. So the Patriots had 2 losses that they actually played in, even though they seem to be one of the better users in the league.
I have to say, I feel like you'll see the Patriots climb right back in.
Patriots,
I feel like they feel a little slighted.
Looking at the rest of their schedule, they have a great shot at not only winning the division, but potentially getting a first-round bye in the AFC, in my opinion.
All right, so let's just run through 10 through 6. We've got Colts at 3-2, Chiefs at 4-1, Packers at 8 at 4-1, 49ers at 7 at 4-1, and then the Chargers at 4-1. That's your 10 through 6. Anything to think about? Or you feel like everybody's about where they should be?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're where they should be. The 49ers, huge game this week, we'll talk about here in a little while. And then we'll talk about the Chiefs this week here in a moment as well. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody is pretty much where they need to be on that in terms of 10 through 6.
All right, let's go. Number 5 is the Los Angeles Rams at 4-1, and then number 4 is me, the Bears, at 4-1. I went from a jump from 10 to 4, and honestly, I was disappointed last week in my power rankings, but I don't think I should have jumped straight to 4.
Yeah. So on those 2 rankings, what we're looking at is just quality loss, if you will. Is kind of what we decided to throw in this week. This first week we've actually done it together. And the Bears, their 1 loss being to the Redskins, 37-27. They led in the 4th quarter. I'd say, in my opinion, the only team that's come close to really beating the Redskins so far this year. So that being their only loss with 4 other wins, we decided to give them the top spot for a 1-loss team. And then the Rams, similar situation, their one loss being to the Panthers in week 1, I believe. And so they're just kind of getting off, rolling and everything, lose to the Panthers week 1, but have been on a roll since then. So that's how we decided number 4 and 5.
All right, and then 3 through 1, all undefeated teams.
All undefeated. I will say real quick, the Panthers played the Jaguars this week and had a little bit of a scare in what would have been the upset of the entire league so far. The Jaguars led in the second half of that game. Panthers ended up winning 35-20, I think, to go to 6-0. Falcons improved to 6-0 this week as well.
So you got Falcons at 6-0, number 3. Panthers at 6-0, number 2, and then Redskins are 5-0 at 1.
Yeah, I don't think the Redskins have played this week, or I don't know who they play,
Might
but
not even have a game.
I'll pray for them.
Yep. All right, so before we switch over to the game of the week, the big game happened with the number 9 seeded Chiefs this week against the Houston Texans, who have lost 3 in a row before today. What happened in that game?
The Chiefs are going to fall out of the top 10 next week. 38-37 loss to the 2-3 Houston Texans. Texans started out 2-0.
It's a big win. They needed it.
Yeah, Texans started out 2-0, dropped 3 straight to get to 2-3, and then this week they ended up beating the Chiefs to get to 3-3. Huge win because next week they play the Colts, divisional rival. It's going to be a divisional game. If they go into that game,
I would say that's a potential game of the week game.
Yeah, they go into that game 2-4. It's a lot different outlook than going in 3-3 against the Colts. They're battling for a potential AFC South championship there. I'd like to have a say in that, but they're 2 good teams in the AFC South that are battling it out next week. So big win for the Texans going into that game. So
all right, so let's dive right into this week's game of the week, and we have I think a really good matchup. We've got the 49ers, who come in at number 7 in the power rankings, versus the Los Angeles Rams, who come in at 5 in the power rankings. The Rams are the number 1 offense in the league through 6 weeks, and the 49ers are the number 1 defense. And I think the line is at 3.5 in favor of the Rams.
Right. So real quick on that, Rams number 1 offense in terms of total offense, which is yards gained. The 49ers number 1 defense in both yards allowed and points allowed. They've allowed 27 points. They've allowed 27 points in just 4 games played, so less than a touchdown allowed per game for the 49ers. They've got the best defense in the league, not to mention a +10 turnover margin for them. The Rams are going to have their hands full, trying to move the ball.
I think so. I cannot wait to watch this game.
I can't either. I think this is going to be very intriguing to watch. Naheem Hines, running back for the Rams, is approaching 1,000 yards. He's almost there. And we're only going into the 6th game of the year.
I actually think he's already surpassed 1,000.
I think he's at 900.
Really?
Yeah. But the 900 or so, I think he's 2nd in the league behind Darius Guice for the Redskins. So, yeah, it's going to be a very good game. The line being 3.5 for the Rams. I think simply the 49ers 30th in offense. You look at their number 1 defense, but 30th in offense.
That's one thing that jumped out to me. 30th in offense. So
it's kind of scary.
Score some points. I think you might be good against 49ers.
The Rams are a little bit more balanced, coming in at 10th on defense, 1st in offense. The 49ers' 1 loss was to the Steelers, 17-14. The Rams' 1 loss was to the Panthers. So it's a tough line to set, honestly. But
you had to go one way or the other.
On the line?
On the line, 3.5. Rams.
I'm going to go with the 49ers plus 3.5.
I think I'm going to agree with you.
Okay.
We disagreed as far as last week. You got the better end of that deal. The Redskins covered at 12.5. This week we've got the Rams at -3.5. You take the 49ers. I'm going to take the 49ers too. Plus 3.5.
I'm going to say a 24-21 win for the Rams. So I think that they just barely eke out and cover that spread there. So we'll see. It's going to be a good
Someone's
game.
going to go down in the power rankings, and someone's going to shoot up.
Yep. Yeah. You know, and more of these one-loss teams are bound to start losing. So some of these two-loss teams are going to be able to have a chance to be there in the top 10. So we'll have to keep an eye on it in coming weeks to see how it goes.
All right, guys. So remember, game of the week. Rams and 49ers, tune into that once it gets broadcasted, and then we will have it on this YouTube channel on the highlights. If you have not checked out the highlights of last week's game, you need to go there into the YouTube channel and check it out now. It was a really good game. Other than that, from your boy and Coach Fly, peace!
Do you feel the
Game, I thought the Patriots did a lot of good things.
Dadgummit. All right, here we go. What's your reaction about the game? What are you doing? Are you serious?
It's me when I'm back again, but number
Get out! If the video was on it,
All right, be quiet. All right, what's your reaction on the
more trips to the red zone. Unacceptable. You can go. It's all right.
You're good. We have clearly paused this.
Huge win because next week they play the Colts, divisional rival. And I can't take it seriously. You know?
We're doing so good. Peace! All right, come here. All right, YouTube. Hey, we got a special guest for you. We've got Mr. Savage is in the house.
What's up, guys?
Savage, I don't know what has gotten over me to let you in on this film, but what's up?
Not much, man. Really just having a good time.
And that's it, YouTube. Peace!
Do you feel the